Hi, welcome back. So we're going to talk about how to use the combine tool to cut the joints from the lid, from the top of the lid into the sides. So let's do that now. So first of all, I'm going to choose the combine tool. It's going to ask me, what do I want to cut? Well, I want to cut the right side. And what do I want to cut it with? I want to cut it with the lid. And I haven't selected cut. If it was selected join, they'd both be blue. Make sure that says cut. And make sure you click on your keep your tools. Otherwise, the red pieces will disappear afterwards. So click OK. And we're just going to repeat that for every side. We're going to do combine. We're going to cut the front using the top. Click OK. I'm going to rotate around the other two sides. And we're going to combine. We're going to cut the side using the top. OK. And we're going to cut this side. Whoops. Combine. We're going to cut that side using this side. And everything's OK. Now when I go to move it and I move the lid up, to see what it looks like, you can see all the edges are cut. And I'm just going to hit cancel here, and it's going to go back. And now these corners look nice from the side, although from the top you have these these will be two black burnt edges from the thing. So maybe it wasn't a good idea to do it that way. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Now I'm going to go back to the front. So notice I'm looking at the back right now. So I'm going to rotate back to the front so I can keep track of where I am. I'm going to now cut the edges of the front in, the front piece. So I'm going to turn off everything but the front, so I'm not distracted by anything. I'm going to do a sketch right there on the front, and this time I'm going to create my rectangle. And this time I don't want a whole bunch of tabs because it's going to be such a small height. I have to be careful on this side. So this is going to be a thickness, right? And then the next one is going to be, I'm going to do 2 tabs only instead of 3 or 5 or 7. 1 probably isn't enough, and I think 2 is about perfect. So on this one, I need each tab to be, because for each tab there's a space, I need it to be twice, like half, yeah. So if I need 2 tabs, I need to divide by 4 here. I need the distance to be 1/4 the height. So here I'm going to say height divided by 4. And that's the size right there. I'm going to go ahead and center this. Yeah, I'm coming down here. This and that I'm going to center. And now I need to just do a quick rectangular pattern tool. And let's see. I'm going to just do that and that. And just in case I'm going to do that one in case I need it later. We'll see if I need it or not. And I'm going in the opposite direction. So I'm going to use these bottom couple. I only want 2 of them, and my distance spacing right is going to be the height divided by 2 instead of 4, the number of tabs here. And then I want symmetric. And notice what it's done. So it's actually drawing in, this thing is in the way again. I can't do anything about it right now. So this line right here is for the measurement. So it's drawn 1 above, but none below. And that's because we said symmetric, and there's only 2 of them. So what I need to do is just up this 1 more and go 3. And now I got another one here. It's actually this one right here. This little rectangle is 1, and this is another. It's okay that it's hanging over the edge like that. It doesn't hurt anything. So I'm going to say, yep, that looks great. Okay. And now I have these little tabs that I can cut out now. But the problem is from the front, I want this top and bottom again to be wood. I want to cut this one and that one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this down out of the way because it's bugging me. What I'm going to do is draw a line across here again and then just dimension it down to 1 thickness away. So right there, and then D for dimension. Click there, click the outside one. And then thickness. Enter, and there it is. Now I'm just going to find the middle. It's getting really repetitive at this point. I'm going to find the middle and mirror it. So construction line. Oh, there it was. Middle. That's all I need. And then I'm just going to do a mirror. And I just need these little pieces. And that piece. And then I'm going to click down here and say what the mirror line is, and right there it's drawn them over there. I've got everything I need. I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so we can see it a little better. And now I just need to extrude this. So I'm going to hit E for extrude, And I want to leave this up top part. I want to cut that one, and then that one, and that one. It's just taste on my part. Doesn't matter which ones you cut, it'll all work out in the end. And I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to pull it all the way through and then go and tell it, no, just go all the way through and stop. And then I'm going to click OK. I just cut the front. Now I need to do the exact same thing on the back. And then I'll use the combine tool to cut the two sides. So I'm going to turn the back piece on, front piece off. Now, I'm going to turn them all on as I move around because otherwise you'll be on the wrong side. So I want to flip this around, and now I'm looking at it from the back. And now that I know I'm in the right place, I'm going to turn the other ones off. Otherwise, I might be looking on the inside edge of the back piece instead of the outside edge. So that's what helps me do that. Although in this case, it doesn't really matter which side you would on, but it's good to just be careful. And here, that's obviously thickness. And then this one is going to be height divided by 4. I'm going to center that on that edge, create rectangular pattern. Now I know for sure that I just need these two vertical lines. I need to use the bottom ones, and I'm going to need 3. Spacing is on, and I'm going to say this is going to be height divided by 2 instead of 4 here, and I need it symmetric. And yep, there they are. So I've got, there's a line, there's a line. Yep, that's just what I want. Click OK. Again, this little line right here is really confusing looking. It's just a measurement line. I'm going to move it down. Now I need to cap those with a line. And so that's another good point. If you start drawing that line where it says something like the center point, again, it's going to be fixed in place. You won't be able to move it. So make sure you're just off somewhere where it's just a random line all by itself. And then D for dimension here to this bottom line. And this should be thickness. And one more enter, and it's all good. I'm going to zoom back out a little bit, find the middle with a construction line, and then mirror this. Again, you don't have to mirror it. You can always just redo that process. I mean, you might be so fast at it now that, it's not hard to do. It's faster to do the rectangular pattern twice than it is to mirror it. So I think that's good. And then we're going to click the mirror line and say here, and oh, there it is. I couldn't see it. So that looks fantastic. And we're going to say finish sketch. And then we're just going to extrude these out. So E for extrude. I'm going to get rid of that and that and that and that. And then I want to make sure, yep, it's going out. So I'm going to push it in a little bit. And then I'm just going to say all the way through and cut. Okay. All right, so I'm going to turn them all back on again. I know all my top edges are good to go, but the ones that aren't are the front with the edge, right? Front with the sides. So I'm going to go to the combine tool. I'm going to say, hey, I want to cut the side, and I'm going to use the front, and I'm going to rotate it around and say I'm going to use, to cut that side, I'm going to use the front and the back both. Keep the tools, make sure that says cut, and click OK. And I'm going to rotate carefully around to the correct side. I'm going to say combine. I want to take this side, and I want to cut with the front and the back. Okay. Yep, that was right. And then I'm going to click OK. And now when I move these out of the way, let's make sure. All right, so now I've got joints on all the edges. And now let's do the moment of truth. If everything was done well, we should be able to do modify parameters. And I'm going to make my box is actually 15 by 20 by 7.5 deep. So I'm going to change this to 15 and see if it works. Oh, I'm so happy. I'd be so bummed if I had to go do that all over again. All right.